He stopped at a diner outside of Las Vegas, not in Las Vegas, which the calendar had been markedly silent about, which he took to mean he could drive through it normally, which he did, at dawn on November 4th. The diner was a Formica and neon establishment that had been serving highway travelers since the 1950s and showed every year of it in the comfortable, faded way of places that have never needed to reinvent themselves. He ordered eggs and coffee and sat at the counter and felt, for approximately 40 minutes, completely normal. The cook was a middle-aged woman who made conversation about the weather and last night's football game. 2 other truckers came in and he talked briefly with them about road conditions on the 95. The coffee was excellent. He felt human. He felt like himself. When he went back to the truck, the calendar was open to November 4th. He had not opened it. He never left it open. He had placed it face down on the passenger seat as he always did. The annotation read, "You needed that. Rest is part of the road. Do not be afraid to be human on it. The road does not require you to be afraid all the time. The road only requires you to pay attention." And below that, in slightly larger handwriting, something he had not expected. "We are sorry about the divorce. We know how much that cost you." He sat with that for a long time. He crossed into Arizona on the morning of November 5th, the landscape changing from Nevada's gray flatness to Arizona's red architecture. The rocks here older and more certain of themselves. The sky a blue so absolute it looked painted. He had 3 more stops before Tucson, each of them noted in the calendar with dates and symbols and instructions he had come to read with the ease of someone who has learned a new language, not fluently, but functionally. The 5th stop, at a rest area outside of Kingman, required him to leave a specific piece of paper, a blank sheet, from the notepad he always kept in the glove box, folded and placed under a specific rock at the end of the rest area's walking path. He did this without understanding why. The 6th stop, at a crossroads east of Phoenix, required him to stay in the truck, engine off, doors locked, for exactly 1 hour between 2 and 3 a.m. During that hour, traffic passed in both directions on the crossroads, more traffic than the hour warranted. Moving slowly, the vehicles all dark, their headlights oddly dim. He watched them and they did not stop and he did not acknowledge them. And at 3 a.m., precisely the crossroads was empty and still. The 7th stop was different from all the others. It was not in a strange place. It was not on a remote road. It was in a suburb of Tucson, in a residential neighborhood. At the address he found written on November 7th in the calendar, 2247 Carver Street, a house. An ordinary house, yard, mailbox, windows with curtains, a car in the driveway. The instruction read, "Knock on the door. Give them what you have been carrying." He sat outside 2247 Carver Street for 20 minutes. It was midnight. The house lights were on behind the curtains. Someone was awake. He reached into his shirt pocket and took out the brass key. 741. He looked at it for a moment. Then he got out of the truck and walked to the front door and knocked. The woman who opened the door was perhaps 70 years old, with white hair and dark eyes, and the particular stillness of someone who has been expecting a knock for a very long time. She was wearing a plain dark bathrobe and she was carrying. Marcus recognized it immediately, a cloth-covered ledger, the same kind he had seen in the hands of the woman in vellum. She looked at him. She looked at the key in his hand. "Holt," she said. "Not a question." "Yes. You drove the 2nd road." "I'm on it now." "Deliveries tomorrow." She held out her hand. He gave her the key. She looked at it, turned it, looked at the number stamped in the bow, and closed her fingers around it. Then she looked at him with something in her expression that he recognized from the way station. Officer on the Montana state line. Not fear. Pity. No, not pity. He looked again. It was something more than that. Something more careful. Grief. "They told you 19 drivers," she said. "The calendar, yes. 18 of them completed the 2nd road and did not understand what they had done until afterward," she said. "Until it was too late to undo." "And the 19th?" She was quiet for a moment. The 19th has the calendar. No driver before has been given the calendar. She looked at him carefully. The calendar was not supposed to be with you. Someone put it there who should not have. Someone who wanted you to see. Who? She shook her head. That is not my question to answer. But because you have seen, because you have understood, you have a choice that the other 18 did not have. She paused. You can deliver the cargo tomorrow. Complete the contract. The road gets what it wants. You get paid. You go home. You drive the third road when they send it to you. And so on, until the road is done with you. Or you open the trailer tonight, with the key, which is not your key, which was placed in the road for you by the same person who placed the calendar in your truck. You open it and you see what you have been carrying, and then you make a real choice with real information, the way no driver before you has ever made it. Marcus looked at her for a moment. He looked at the key in her closed hand. You have it, he said. I have the key to this door, she said. She reached into the pocket of her robe and held out another key, identical, same brass, same weight, same number, but this one with a small mark on the bow that the other had not had. The road provides what it thinks you will need. I provide what the road does not want you to have. He took the second key. What is in the trailer? He asked. The same thing that has been in every trailer, she said. The same thing Elias Alderman carried in 1891. The same thing the road has been, moving since before there were roads. You will know it when you see it. What matters is not what it is. What matters is what you choose to do about it. She closed the door. He sat in the cab for a long time after leaving. 2247 Carver Street. The calendar was open on the passenger seat. November 7th. The annotation beneath the door symbol read only, Your choice is yours. The road will not force it. That is not the road's nature. The road only carries. He drove to a long-term truck parking lot on the south side of Tucson and backed into a space at the far end of the lot, away from the other trucks, away from the light standards. He sat in the dark. He looked at the key in his hand. Then he got out and walked to the back of the trailer. The cargo seals were intact. He broke them. He inserted the key and turned the lock, and the doors swung outward. Inside, 8 sealed metal containers, each approximately the size of a filing cabinet, numbered, identical to every description on every manifest. They were, he could see from the outside, perfectly ordinary metal containers, sealed with standard industrial closures. He opened the nearest one. Inside, wrapped in clean white cloth, was a book. Handwritten, cloth-covered, the same kind of ledger he had seen twice now in the hands of women who knew things he did not. He lifted it out carefully. He opened it. It was a record. Names, dates, route numbers, cargo descriptions, spanning more than 130 years. Dozens of pages, hundreds of entries, each one a driver, a load, a road. Each one signed at the bottom by the same signature in the same ink. Elias Alderman. He opened the second container, another ledger. The third, the fourth, all ledgers. 8 containers, 8 books, 8 portions of the same impossibly long record of the road and what it carried, and who it used to carry it. He held one of the books and understood that he was holding the record of something that had been operating for a century and a half, that was operating still, that had been using drivers like instruments, like tools to move something between points on a map that he could not understand and had never been told to question. He looked at the calendar. He looked at the 2 keys in his pocket. He looked at the books in the trailer. Then he made his choice. He did not deliver to the Alderman Holdings warehouse in Tucson the next morning. He drove instead to a storage unit he rented on the spot, in cash at a facility on the north side of the city, and he unloaded all 8 containers into it. He photographed the ledgers. He photographed every page of everyone. He sent the photographs to an email address he created for the purpose. On a phone he bought at a gas station for $40. Then he called his dispatcher. Mechanical breakdown, he said. Trailer damage. I need to offload the cargo and get the truck to a shop. Denise was sympathetic, efficient, professional. She arranged for a substitute carrier for the Alderman Holdings delivery. She noted the delay in the contract records. She told him he would lose the delivery bonus but not the base rate. He thanked her and hung up. He sat in the parking lot of the storage facility with the empty trailer behind him and the calendar on the seat beside him. He opened it to November 8th. The page was blank. No symbol, no handwriting, just a clean empty date square. He turned to November 9th. Blank. November 10th. Every remaining page of the calendar, every remaining day through. December 31st was blank. No annotations, no symbols, no handwriting, no photographs of his truck in locations he had not yet reached. The calendar was done. He looked at it for a moment. Then he looked at the road ahead, which was a perfectly ordinary city street, leading to a perfectly ordinary highway, and beyond that, 800 miles south and west, his apartment in Reno and a bed he had not slept in for a week. He started the engine. He drove south toward the highway on-ramp, and at the intersection where the ramp began, where a sign read I-10 West and another read I-10 East, he sat for a moment with his turn signal on. In his right mirror, the empty trailer, the faint marks on the left rear corner, the circle and line, still there, indelible. In his left mirror, the road behind him, the road he had come from, the road that had been waiting for him for 19 years. Ahead of him, the choice of direction. He turned west toward Reno, toward sleep, toward the ordinary world. He had driven 3 miles on the interstate when his phone buzzed. On the passenger seat, a text message from a number he did not recognize. He glanced at it. The ledgers are copies. The originals are still moving. They have a new carrier now. You know the roads better than anyone. Third journey departs at sundown. The road remembers your name, Marcus Holt. He read the message. He looked at the western horizon, where the sun was descending toward the mountains, painting the sky in shades of copper and blood and the deep, final blue that comes just before darkness. He looked at the calendar on the passenger seat, still blank. He drove west. The sun went down behind the mountains. Night came.